There has been a string of recent incidents of Vieux Fort fishermen lost at sea, prompting the operations manager of the Goodwill's Fishermen's Cooperative to issue a strong statement urging fishers and their families to take safety at sea more seriously.
I want to just send out a plea to our fishermen to ensure that they do whatever is necessary for their safety. Last week, Wednesday, we had a vessel from Vieux Fort that ventured out to St. Vincent, and we have not heard or seen the two crew members. On Wednesday evening, we had another situation where a vessel did not come in, and last night, again, around 10 o'clock, we noticed that a vessel had not come back on shore.
There was relief Friday for the fishing community in the south. One of the teams lost at sea was rescued and returned to port.
Thankfully, the Wednesday and the one yesterday, this morning, we were informed that they are safe. We've been able to make contact with the crew members. They've returned to port. But those on Thursday have not returned.
One of the members of the recently rescued team, Steve Clark, says the hazy conditions contributed to their frightening situation.
We left around 5 a.m. yesterday morning. Going out fishing whilst navigating around 19 miles. We didn't catch no fish, so we decided to go further out. The weather was real white, so we ended up lost course. But we ended up reaching 64 miles west, and our foretongues got burned out.
Following days of being lost at sea, the men were spotted by the United States Coast Guard and assisted in making their way back to St. Lucia.
We was rescued by the U.S. Coast Guard, and they gave us fuel and directions to come back home and we make it home safe. We just arrived this morning there.
The operations manager of the Goodwill Fishermen's Cooperative says the unfortunate incidents at sea are taking a toll on the fishing community. She says following the well-established guidelines could save lives and reduce the level of stress on fishers and their families.
I just want to make a plea to the fishers to ensure that they take all the necessary precautions, ensure that they go out with their GPS, their compass, ensure that they wear their life jackets, not in the vessels but on their person, ensure that they can actually use the devices, ensure that they have their navigational and safety equipment, their GPS and so on, because it is really a lot emotionally and financially to deal with fishers who have not returned home. It's really difficult on the families. I had cause this morning to speak to the families of some of those who returned home this morning, and the relief in their voice as compared to the distress when I spoke with them yesterday, not knowing when they would see their loved ones. It's very difficult. As much as a lot of the times we ask the authority to do what is necessary, but the fishers, we need to start with you. So I'm speaking to you, the fishers, and the family of the fishers, to encourage them to do what they must to first protect themselves, protect their lives and the equipment that they have, to ensure that they do not continue to create that level of distress.
The recently rescued fisherman, Steve Clark, says training in the use of the latest safety equipment would be beneficial to the industry. He says the struggles of the fishing community are generally underestimated.
I ask people out there to just respect a fisherman's life because it's easy out there. The three of us that went to sea there.
And how was the sea condition?
Well, the seas wasn't really high, but the weather was real white. You know, we could see properly in the white weather. Yeah, and that's what that make us lost track of the coast. But you know, you have to be intelligent to read a GPS and, you know, find your way back home, because if you have GPS, you can find your way back home, you know. I advise people that go in fishing to always go with the GPS and, you know, make sure they can read a compass.
The recent hazy conditions have made life for the fisherfolk an even greater challenge, with the sharp rise in the number of fishermen lost at sea further underscoring the need for more training in the use of sophisticated safety equipment and the adherence to the time-tested tips of having adequate supplies, life jackets, and easily detectable, safe fishing vessels. Stanley Lucian for the HGS News Force.